Hi, welcome to High School Challenge 2012. We're happy to have you here with us. I'm Brooks Sanders. We've been doing this at Tompkins Cortland Community College for 34 years, and we're so happy to have you with us today, and certainly happy to have these two fine teams with us here today in the quarterfinal matches of High School Challenge 2012. The teams are Ithaca and Waverly. Let's meet the team from Ithaca and their captain, Kevin Hillgardner.
I'm Kevin Hillgardner. I will do it. I will take the ring to Mordor, though I do not know the way.
I will show you.
I'm Irit Hukravilla. You have my sword.
I'm Peter Alexander, and you have my bow.
And my axe. I'm Teddy Morrisnower.
That's the team from Ithaca. They're coached by Ben Kirk. All right, let's meet the team now from Waverly and their captain, Aidan Wiggs.
Hello, I'm Aidan Wiggs, and I have the luck of the Irish.
I'm Jacob Hazen, and I will help you bear this burden as long as it's yours to bear.
I'm Jeff Zebnick, and I don't think I really have much luck at all, but I don't need luck, yay!
I'm Tim Ellis, and I would like to remind Ithaca, one does not simply waltz into Mordor.
Unless you have a
doesn't.
partner.
The team from Waverly, coached by Ann Finney-Foreman and Michelle Shaw. All right, teams, we're ready to start out now. Of course, our match always starts with toss-ups, and our first one is a 5-pointer. Hands on buzzers. Remember, no consultation in this round. What is defined in physics as the rate of change of an object's velocity?
Ithaca, Irit.
Acceleration.
Acceleration is correct for 5. For 10 points, in 1998, a Cairo lawyer filed a $1 billion lawsuit in an Egyptian court claiming that what American's sexual antics made it difficult for him to raise his children?
Ithaca, Irit.
Bill Clinton.
With high moral standards, yes, that's Bill Clinton. For 5 points, fajitas are not, in fact, a product of Mexican cuisine, but were invented in which U.S. state?
Ithaca, Irit.
Texas.
Texas is correct for 5. I have a 10-point chemistry question that involves its stoichiometry. When the chemical equation P4 plus F2 yields PF3 is properly balanced, what coefficient appears before the F2? Got the chemical equation.
Waverly, Jeff.
2.
Sorry, no. Can you take it, Ithaca?
Ithaca, Teddy.
3.
The answer is 6. You can multiply those two and get 6. All right. For 10 points, this visual toss-up, it's a brain buster. I want you to watch your monitor for 3 clues to a word or its homophone, rather.
Waverly, Hayden.
Tail.
Tail is correct, spelled T-A-I-L or T-A-L-E, both teams on the board now. For 5 points, what lies between England and Ireland?
Ithaca, Irit.
The Atlantic Ocean.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Waverly?
Waverly, Jacob.
The English Channel.
No, it's the Irish Sea. For 5 points, in isosceles triangle HSC, the vertex angle is 3 times the measure of one of the base angles. What is the measure of the vertex angle? We'll call time. The answer is 108 degrees. For 5 points, bête noire and film noir are French phrases commonly used in English. What's the translation of noir?
Waverly, Aiden.
Black.
Black is correct for 5. Here's a 10-pointer. Before his first book was published, he drew cartoons for Vanity Fair, Saturday Evening Post, and PM.
Ithaca, Kevin.
Dr. Seuss.
Very well done, Kevin. We didn't need to ask you the pen name Theodore Geisel chose as an author. It was, in fact, Dr. Seuss. For 5 points, what specific items do dendrochronologists use to perform scientific dating? We don't mean dating each other. We mean dating of what's going on in the world. The answer is tree rings. And that brings us to the end of round 1. What's our score, please, Scott?
After one round, Brooks. Ithaca 30, Waverly 15.
All right, only 15 points separating the two teams. Both teams played well in the first round. Let's see what happens in our second round, where Waverly will have the first bid in the answer auction. Here's the answer auction question. Listen carefully, because you're going to have to determine how many correct answers you can give. While they're making up their minds on their opening bids, I will remind the folks at home and those in the studio that the high bidding team must then give that number of correct answers without giving an incorrect answer in order to earn 40 points. If they can't do that, the other team only needs to give me one correct answer that hasn't already been said in order to earn 20 points. And if they can't do that, the original high bidder gets the 20 points. So we'll ask you, Aiden, what's your opening bid, please?
We'll go 2.
They'll go 2. Will you go 3?
We will.
They'll go 3. Will you go 4?
No.
They're going to give it to you for 3, Ithaca. Give
Alaska?
me three U.S. states who have capitals whose population is below 50,000. Alaska is 1.
Wyoming?
No.
No. Can you take it, Waverly? Give me 1 now for 20 points.
Montana?
Montana is, in fact, Delaware, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Missouri, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Vermont, and Washington.
So this one.
Vermont actually the smallest.
So I get these two.
That brings us to the end of round 2 and a big change in the score. Scott, what's our score, please?
The leader has changed, but we've got a long time to go yet. Waverly 35, Ithaca 30 after 2 rounds.
All right, very close. We'll be back with our third round, which is toss-ups leading to bonuses on TC3's High School Challenge 2012.
We're CSCA.
Our reputation, New York's leading union.
We've earned it.
It's okay.
The Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. E-File or tell your tax preparer to do it for you. And join the 60 million e-filers who consider it done.
Scott, is that score after 2 rounds official?
Yes, it is. Waverly 35, Ithaca 30 going into the bonus round.
All right, very, very close match. And of course, the bonus round can change things because if you answer a toss-up correctly, your team gets a chance at a bonus worth 20 points. Explorers, the category of the first bonus. And here's the toss-up for 10 points. One of its unofficial nicknames is the Diamond State because it's home to the only diamond mine in the U.S. What is this state that lies across the Mississippi River from Tennessee and Mississippi?
Ithaca, Errett.
Missouri?
It is not Missouri. Can you take it? Waverly.
Waverly, Jacob.
Iowa.
It is Arkansas. Still playing for that Explorers bonus, this toss-up for 10 points. It had long been popular in Scandinavia, but an 1894 article by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle led to what sport becoming part of Switzerland's tradition in the 20th?
Waverly, Jacob.
Soccer.
I'm sorry, no, in the 20th century.
Ithaca, Kevin.
Alpine skiing?
Alpine skiing is correct, yes. Here's Explorers for you, Ithaca, for 5 points apiece. I want you to name the country for whom each of these explorers first sailed to the New World. First, Henry Hudson. Yes. Giovanni Caboto.
Italy?
No, Giovanni Caboto is known as John Cabot because he sailed for England. Ferdinand Magellan.
Portugal.
Spain, he was Portuguese. And finally, Giovanni da Verrazzano.
Spain.
He sailed for France.
That's 5 points on the bonus for Ithaca.
All right, along the coast, the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up for 10 points. The first woman ever elected to lead her country, Dalia Grybauskaitė, took office in 2010 in the capital of Vilnius. Of what nation is she?
Ithaca, Peter.
Chile.
Sorry, no. Of what nation is she president, Waverly?
Waverly, Jacob.
Argentina.
Dalia Grybauskaitė is the president, taking place in the capital of Vilnius of Lithuania. For 10 points, I want you to spell Dalia Grybauskaitė. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I want you to spell reprehensible.
Ithaca, Kevin.
Reprehensible.
That's correct. It's an IBLE on the end. Here's your along the coast bonus, Ithaca. 4 states have 750 or more miles of coastline. For 5 points apiece, name them.
Alaska.
Yes.
Florida.
Yes.
California.
Yes.
Texas.
Louisiana is the 4th one.
15 points on the bonus.
British author, the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up. It's a math toss-up. If x and y vary inversely, and if x is 8 when y is 8, what must x be when y is 10?
Ithaca, Irrit.
6.4.
6.4 is correct. Hear it? Well done, very quick. British author, the category. From the works given, name the author. If you can do so after the first clue, you'll get 20 points. After the second, 15, the third, 10, and the fourth, 5. You can give a guess on each clue, but if you're wrong, we just move on to the next clue. For 20 points, Mansfield Park. We're looking for the author of Mansfield Park.
Jane Austen.
20 points. Didn't need any of the other clues. Biological fathers, the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up for 10. She wrote nearly 2,000 poems, but only...
Ithaca, Kevin.
Emily Dickinson.
Emily Dickinson's who we're looking for. Kevin, you're hot on the literature questions. Let's see what you can do with the biological fathers bonus. From these descriptions, name these scientists known as the fathers of their respective fields of study. First, this Flemish scientist, known by the Latin form of his name, wrote concerning the fabric of the human body in 1543, earning him the title Father of Anatomy.
Linnaeus.
It was Andreas Vesalius. This Greek observed and classified animals and is known as the father of biology. Captain?
Aristotle.
Aristotle is correct. It's a guess, it's a good one. This Dutchman discovered bacteria with a microscope and is called the father of microbiology.
Hook.
I'm sorry, no, van Leeuwenhoek. And finally, this Austrian monk's work with plant breeding earns him the title Father of Genetics.
Mendel.
Mendel is correct.
That's 10 points for Ithaca.
And that brings us to the end of round 3. Scott, what's our score, please?
Interestingly enough, it was the same score in our last quarterfinal match at this point. Ithaca 120, Waverly 35.
Okay, still in this, Waverly, because lots of points still coming. First of all, our category round, which is next, in which you'll get the chance to pick a category and try to answer 10 questions in 60 seconds. Categories we'll be using are notorious, sin, in quotation marks, which means all the answers will begin with sin, gangsters, and not exactly a courtroom. We'll be back to see which categories they choose and how well they do with the categories on TC3's High School Challenge 2012.
We're CSCA.
Our reputation, New York's leading union.
We've earned it.
This is a tree that was never chopped down. To make a crutch that was never needed by a child who never got polio. Because vaccine was never in short supply, thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. Over the years, Rotary Club members have helped immunize over 2 billion children against polio. Soon, the world will be polio-free. Rotary, humanity in motion.
Hi, I'm Sterling Marlin. There's nothing better than great fans who cheer me on in the 40 car. While watching the race, many of our fans like to enjoy a cold beer. And that's okay if you're 21, but if you choose to drink, please do so responsibly. Avoid drinking to excess and never drive drunk. Traffic deaths involving alcohol have fallen dramatically in the last 20 years. So let's all do our part by drinking responsibly.
This message is brought to you by the National Beer Wholesalers Association and this station.
All right, we're ready to do our category round. Those 4 categories were notorious, sin, gangsters, and not exactly a courtroom. What's our score, please?
Going into the 62nd round, Ithaca 120, Waverly 35.
All right, that means Waverly, you have first choice of those 4 categories. Aiden, what are you choosing?
We'll take not exactly a courtroom.
Okay. Are we ready with the timer? And I'll remind you that all the answers will sound like things associated with courtrooms. Start the timer, please. What consists of a subject and a predicate?
A sentence.
Yes. What's the 7th book of the King James Bible's Old Testament?
Testament.
Book of Testament.
No. Fill in the blank in this Mark Twain title. Blank abroad.
Travel.
Time.
Time.
No. What's one of the French words for word?
Pass.
What 11-letter word beginning with C is a synonym for beliefs?
Convictions.
Conviction.
Yes. What 1981 movie starred Paul Newman?
Pass.
What is 24 cans of soda?
12-pack.
A crate.
No. Boxers are one style of men's undershorts. What's the other?
Briefs.
What's a neat bundle of hay or straw?
Bail.
What catcher was the backstop for Cincinnati's Big Red Machine?
A bench.
Bench is correct. Johnny Bench.
50 points for Waverly on that category.
Well done on a tough category. Ithaca, a chance to pick up 50 if you can answer these immediately. What's the 7th book of the King James Bible's Old Testament?
Kings.
Kings.
Judges.
Judges.
Fill in the blank in this Mark Twain title. Blank abroad.
Innocence.
Innocence is correct. What's one of the French words for word?
Mott.
Parole is the other one. Mole is the one we didn't want. What 1981 movie starred Paul Newman?
Cool Hand Luke.
I know it was a long time ago. The Verdict. What is 24 cans of soda?
A case.
A case.
22nd chance points for Ithaca.
That's all of them. You picked up 20 on their category. Kevin, what are you choosing for your own?
We will take notorious.
Notorious it is.
Sweet.
Ready with the timer? Start the timer, please. Who was the most notorious resident of Abbottabad, Pakistan?
Osama bin Laden.
Yes. What name, literally Uncle Gunny Sack, was given to Papa Doc Duvalier's Haitian secret police?
Pass.
Who directed Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman in the 1946 thriller Notorious?
Pass.
Name either 1980s pop band with a top 40 hit titled Notorious.
Michael Jackson.
No. What TV personality had to resign as Cincinnati's mayor after being caught soliciting a prostitute?
Pass.
What notorious crime kingpin went to prison for tax evasion in 1932?
Al Capone.
Yes, the NKVD was the predecessor of what feared Soviet bureau?
The KGB.
Yes, in a 2005 British biopic, Timothy Spall played a man named Albert Pierpoint who had what unusual occupation?
He was a bank robber.
No, who was put to death in 2001 for what was at the time the most destructive terrorist act on U.S. soil? Time.
That's 30 points for Ithaca.
Picked up 30 on a very tough category, and I will tell you right now that your announcer over there wrote that one. So we blame him. Waverly, a chance to pick up 70. What name, literally Uncle Gunny Sack, was given to Papa Doc Duvalier's Haitian secret police?
Pass.
They were called Tonton Macoute. Who directed Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman in the 1946 thriller Notorious?
Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock is correct. Name either 1980s pop band with a top 40 hit titled Notorious.
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
We would have accepted Duran Duran or Loverboy. What TV personality had to resign as Cincinnati's mayor after being caught soliciting a prostitute?
Marv Albert.
Marv Albert.
Jerry Springer. Sometimes your teammates do know the answer.
Sorry, guys.
In 2005 British biopic, Timothy Spall played a man named Albert Pierpoint who had what unusual occupation?
He was a spy.
He was a hangman. Who was put to death in 2001 for what was at the time the most destructive terrorist act?
Timothy McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh is correct. And finally, this question which you didn't hear, what name for hip-hop artist Biggie Smalls fits this category?
Notorious.
More specific.
Notorious B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G. is what
Pass
we're
this back to the guys.
That's 30-second chance points for Waverly.
All right, well played, Waverly. Well played, Ithaca. Did better sometimes on the second chance. What's our score, please? Scott?
It's tightened up some. Ithaca 170, Waverly 115.
All right, very close now. And coming up, of course, our fifth round, which is toss-ups only, more difficult toss-ups, so therefore worth more money. We'll be back in a moment on TC3's High School Challenge 2012.
Hi, I'm Russell Simmons. Today I want to talk to you about a very important subject, and it's cruelty to animals. Emmy was a victim of cruelty and someone did something about it. Someone called the ASPCA and put an end to it, because Emmy can't talk. The fact is, animals are abused all over this country, and people sit by and do nothing. It's not slick or fly or cool, none of that. It's just cruel. If you're aware of any animal abuse, go to aspca.org, find out what you can do now and make a difference. She can't do it for herself.
Lightning 28, now boarding at gate 9.
Mr. Gilmore, Mr. Gilmore, your foursome is on the team. Have fun and hit 'em straight.
What's more fun than a round with your friends? Nice shot. To discover all the ways you can get more golf in your life, visit playgolfamerica.com.
Play golf, America.
Hi, welcome back. Scott, what's our official score after 4 rounds of play?
It's a close one. Ithaca 170, Waverly 115.
All right, let's see what happens in our last round where there are hundreds and hundreds of points. We start with a 15-point toss-up. Don't forget hands on buzzers, wait to be identified, and don't consult. Here's a 15-pointer. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Elvin Hayes, and Moses Malone are the top 5 in what career NBA category?
Ithaca, Kevin.
Point.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Waverly?
Waverly, Jacob.
Points per game?
No, rebounds. For 15 points, he started his career exhibiting a 150-year-old slave woman he claimed had been George Washington's nurse. Later, his shows featured the world's smallest man.
Waverly, Jacob.
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum, Jacob, is the man we're looking for. The man who said there's a sucker born every minute. I have an audio toss-up now. I want you to listen to this and name the language in which this Requiem Mass is being sung.
Waverly, Jacob.
I'm sorry, it's not Latin.
Ithaca, Kevin.
German.
It is being sung in German. It's Brahms' German Requiem. For 10 points, perhaps the most strangely named of the basic SI units of measurement is the poise. Name the property measured in poise, which can be simplified to mean the thickness or resistance to flow of a liquid.
Ithaca, Irrit.
Viscosity.
Viscosity is what it measures. I have a 10-pointer. In 1616, George Chapman completed his monumental translation of what 2 epic poems by Homer?
Ithaca, Irrit.
The Odyssey and the Iliad.
Yes, or as we called it in college, the Idiot and the Oddity. For 15 points, the oldest city that is now a U.S. state capital is the capital of one of the states whose territory in part was acquired by the U.S. in the Gadsden Purchase. What city is it?
Waverly, Jacob.
Phoenix.
Not Phoenix. Can you take it, Ithaca?
Ithaca, Teddy.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe, New Mexico is correct, Teddy. Here's a 10-pointer. Are Joan Miro, Max Ernst, and Salvador Dali considered expressionists?
Ithaca, Kevin.
They're surrealists.
They are, in fact, surrealists, Kevin. You didn't need to hear it. For 15 points, in how many points, this math toss-up, in how many points do the parabola y equals x minus 2 quantity squared plus 3 and the line y equals negative 3x minus 5 intersect?
Ithaca, Teddy.
0.
0 is correct, Teddy, for 15. Here's a 15-pointer. The first ever cartoon with synchronized sound, it made its main character.
Ithaca, Irrit.
Steamboat Willie.
That's what we were looking for. It made its main character Mickey Mouse an instant star. Steamboat Willie was the name of the cartoon. For 15 points, the unification of which two kingdoms by the marriage of Ferdinand and Isabella became the foundation?
Ithaca, Irrit.
Aragon and Catalan?
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Waverly? The foundation of modern Spain.
Waverly, Jacob.
Spain and Portugal.
It was Aragon and Castile rather than Catalan, which is another thing entirely. For 10 points, in 1863, what would later become the A&P grocery chain was the Great American Tea Company in New York City. The completion of what in 1869 led the firm to change its name to the Great Atlantic and
Ithaca, Teddy.
The Transcontinental Railroad.
That's correct, Teddy, for 10. Here's a 15-pointer. Based on the value of American currency by the end of the Revolutionary War, what four-word phrase means absolutely without value?
Waverly, Tim.
Zilch.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it? Ithaca.
Ithaca, Peter.
Moot.
Four-word phrase. You guys both give me one
four-word.
word, which means you're having trouble counting. The answer is not worth a continental. For 10 points, England's King Henry I died from overeating a meal of what jaw?
Ithaca, Irrit.
Lampreys.
That's what we were looking for, the jawless fish, an aggressive predator whose presence in the Great Lakes has devastated native fish populations, but you didn't need all of that. For 10 points, in Spanish, the verb in a command is in what mood?
Ithaca, Irrit.
Subjunctive.
Subjunctive is correct, Irrit. Here's a 15-pointer. Antigua and what other island combined to form an Eastern Caribbean nation?
Waverly, Jacob.
Cuba.
Not Cuba. Can you take it? Ithaca.
Ithaca, Teddy.
Haiti.
Antigua and Barbuda are the two that combine to make that Caribbean nation. That brings us to the end of the match. What's our final score, please?
Ithaca, 285, Waverly, 130.
All right, very well played, both teams. We'll be back to validate that score and say goodbye to our friends on PC3's High School Challenge 2012.
We're CSCA.
Our reputation, New York's leading union.
We've earned it.
Poison Center, can I help?
What's the number on the bill, man?
Su niña estaba fuera. What a day. Started with a call from the factory in town. There'd been a chemical spill, and a number of the employees had breathed in the fumes.
This mom called because her 2-year-old got into some old blue pills, and she was scared.
And then I got a snake bite call from the emergency room. This supplied an antivenom.
I made sure that everybody got out into the fresh air, and then I told them what to watch for.
She calmed down when she heard me speak in Spanish. I told her that her little one would be okay.
I explained how to use the new antidote. The patient is feeling much better.
They called quickly, and everyone was fine.
I called back to see how both of them were. She was so grateful.
I was glad to teach them something new.
Experts at your local poison control center are ready to give you free, confidential expert advice 24/7. Call 1-800-222-1222.
Okay, our score is official. Ithaca wins 285 to 130. We'd like to thank CSEA for providing us with the $3,000 the top team is going to get. Ithaca, you're going to go on to meet the winner of the match between Montrose and Seton Catholic Central B in the semifinals. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.